500 internationals working in Germany told us their salaries through a survey we sent out through our newsletter. The goal was to identify real-life salaries and go beyond just the averages that are shown on online platforms like Glassdoor. Additional to that, we were in the search to find who are the people that earn more than 100,000 euros gross annual in Germany as a salary.
Gross.
Gross.
It's okay, I wanted it to be funny. The number of participants that earn more than 100,000 K gross a year really excited us. We will reveal their exact job roles and industries they're working in at the end of the video.
Before this episode starts, we have a small favor to ask from you. Our goal for this year is to reach 50,000 YouTube subscribers. If you've ever liked any of our videos, if you like this channel, then please hit that subscribe button that's down here at the bottom.
The bigger the channel, the bigger the reach, and the more internationals can benefit from our content to settle into life in Germany more smoothly. Thank you very much and enjoy this episode.
Now, going back to our data of the survey, there was an array of industries that people working actually, which is super interesting. However, the three most popular ones were IT, automotive, and surprise, surprise, academia.
Throughout this video, we will be referring to three different ranges of salaries: the lower end, the higher end, and the average. And looking at the data, we can confidently say there is a strong correlation between work experience in the specific role and salary earned. To help you identify where you can possibly stand, it's pretty simple. The less experience you have, the more you can identify at the lower range of the salaries. The more experience they have, the more you can identify at the higher end of salaries. And if you are somewhere in between 3 to 6 years of work experience in your specific job role, you can identify yourself more or less in the average of salaries.
Now, like everything in life, exceptions apply. Another thing is that all the numbers that we're going to say from this point onward is going to be gross annual salary a year.
In Germany.
Per year. In Germany, yes. Otherwise, we need to say 50,000 and then repeat it again. Hope that's clear. Okay, let's jump into the IT industry, which, to be honest, is no surprise that it's the majority of the people that answered our survey are working in the IT industry. First of all, that's kind of like the crowd we kind of pull because I used to be a software developer. Additional to that, there's a massive shortage of skilled workers in the IT industry.
And Germany has and will continue to have a little bit of easier visa restrictions for skilled IT workers.
Yeah, so that number is just going to increase. So now if we jump at the data, the super interesting thing is that the lowest salary that we found in the IT industry in our survey is 30K. And the highest one is 120K, making it an average of 71K.
The job role that is earning the 30K and is at the lower range of the salaries is a content specialist with less than 3 years experience. Now, we would also like to point out here for the IT industry is that 71% of our survey participants do have a job matching academic degree. That means 29% don't, and that is amongst the higher range of no matching academic degree, which will only grow in the future probably because of the visa changes and degree versus experience changes the German government has agreed to, which we talk about in this video of the new immigration law, which only leads to more opportunity in case you don't have a job-specific academic degree for you.
Now, if you look at the years of experience, we have 20% of the participants have less than 3 years of experience, 24% have between 3 to 6 years of experience, and the majority, with 56%, have more than 6 years of experience.
By far, the most reoccurring role in our survey was the role of a software engineer in all its forms and shapes and sizes.
And here, the actually ranges of salaries is different to the general IT one because the lowest earner of the software engineers was at 50,000 euros, I was going to say gross a year, and the highest earner was at 120,000, making it an average of 77,000. We also found through the data that a junior software developer lands with a higher salary than any other junior, for example, in QA or UX. This is again based on the survey that we did, right?
Now we would like to pull out one data set from the survey that is quite interesting to us. So we happen to have 3 senior software engineers, all living in Berlin, all with more than 9 years of experience answering our survey. And their salaries were different. One is earning 81K, one is earning 91K, and the other one is earning 105K. Now why are we highlighting these 3 different types of salaries? To showcase that even though in the grand scheme all of the attributing factors seem to be the same, salaries may differ because it highly depends on the company you're working at. The bigger the company, the more likely you have a higher salary. It also depends on your actual exact role. Senior software engineer can mean a lot of things, so there can be still specifics that have an impact on salary. And lastly, it always also depends on you and your negotiations and what you think you're worth.
The rest of the roles in the IT industry were pretty vast. We had from SAP consultants, UX, UI designers, quality assurance, product managers. Pretty much the roles were sprinkled everywhere. Additional to that, 6 of our survey participants working in the IT industry cracked the 100K or more as a salary in Germany. We will reveal the roles and how much they earn at the end of the video.
Now, the second industry that we got most responses from is the automotive industry, which is not really a surprise considering that Germany is famous for its cars.
Wait, Germany is famous for its cars?
Maybe. And it's also no surprise that professions listed in this industry were very engineer heavy, followed by designers. Both are perfectly
matching the industry.
Exactly.
The lowest earner in our survey was 40,000 a year, and the highest earner was 170,000 a year, making it an average of 75,000 euros a year as a salary. The lowest earner was a copywriter with 3 to 6 years of experience at 40K a year. Now, we would like to use a data set that we found in this industry that points out that location matters, and actually negotiation matters as well. We have 2 development engineers. One lives in Bavaria, has less than 3 years of experience and earns 50,000 a year. We have another one who lives in Saxony and has between 3 to 6 years of experience and earns 44,000 a year. Actually, when we talked about this, we both agreed that maybe the person in Saxony at the end of the day has more money in their pocket just because the cost of living in Saxony is a lot lower than the ones in Bavaria.
Depending on where you exactly live, but generally one can say that statement, yeah.
Yes, so again, this is to prove the point that location matters as well as experience and again, negotiation skills.
Generally speaking, in the automotive industries, the ranges of work experience are similar to IT, with 21% having less than 3 years of experience, 31% having 3 to 6 years of experience, and the majority of 48% having more than 6 years of experience. 5 survey participants in the automotive industry cracked the 100,000 euros a year, and we reveal their roles and salaries at the end of the video.
The third industry is academia, which came actually as a surprise to the both of us because we actually have a blind spot for academia. And to be honest, the information we're going to give you is based on our very limited knowledge. So if you're in academia, please share your insights in the comments. We would love to learn more. So the first role that we have, if you can call them role, is a PhD student. And they earn actually the range is pretty wide because the lowest earner is 18,000 and the highest earner is 65,000, making it an average of 37,000 a year.
And like Jen said, the range is huge. We would think, we don't know, but we would think that it might be based on, of course, the university that you study at, but also the general package that you receive. Maybe in the lower salary range, there's housing included or meals. Those are just guesses. Please enlighten us. The next role that appeared more often was the postdoctoral researcher. And their salary ranges from 28,000 to 61,000 with an average of 53,000 euros gross a year.
The next role that we have is a scientist/researcher, and then the lowest earner is 36,000, the highest earner is 65,000, making it an average of 55,000 a year. No one in our survey that works in academia cracked the 100K mark.
If you want to share your salary with us anonymously to help us continue to bring more transparency to this topic, you can do so at simplegermany.com/share-salary.
You will find all the instructions on how to do this anonymously and safely. Now for the time to reveal who are the 100K plus earners in Germany. What we found exciting is that according to the official statistics from the German government is that the general average of salaries in Germany that crack the 100K or more is 7.5%. However, in our survey, we had 8% of our survey participants actually crack that. So that is slightly above the average. So we find that super cool. So we have 6 people working in IT that answered our survey who earn 100K or more. We have a project manager who earns 100K.
A senior product manager with 100K.
A senior software engineer with 105K.
A senior project manager with 110K.
A senior software engineer with 120K.
And a senior UX researcher for crypto analytics with 120K.
Now for the automotive industry, we have 5 survey participants who are at 100K or more. We have a Formula 1 engineer, which, wow, this is super awesome, who earns 100K.
A key account engineer with 100K,
a project manager with 105K,
a scrum master with 120K,
and a director in strategy with 170K, which is by far the highest earner of all of our survey participants.
Now let's go to manufacturing, which we have not talked about before because it's not amongst the top 3 of industries most mentioned. It's actually the top 5, top 4 being finance, but having less than 100K earners in manufacturing. In total, there's 4 people that earn 100K or more in manufacturing. The exact roles are a senior application engineer with 100K,
a sales manager with 110K,
an IT solution architect with 116K,
and a global procurement operations manager with 125K.
Now, of course, there's plenty of other industries where you can earn more than 100K, and so do our survey participants, just not, in such a bulk per industry. But other examples from our survey are healthcare, aerospace, pharma, chemical, telecommunications, media, retail, and more.
Also, what we can find from our data is that 75% of the participants have 6 years or more of work experience, which is super interesting, which again, if we remember at the beginning of the video, experience equals a higher salary, which actually makes sense, right?
If we go one level deeper and look at anyone who's earning more than 125,000 euros, all of their roles have the title director or similar in the job title.
And 85% of our participants who earn 100K or more are satisfied with their salary.
Now, the satisfaction of your salary is a highly subjective topic, and it depends on your lifestyle, how many dependents you have that live from the salary, the city that you live in, and hence the cost of living that you can expect.
To put your salary into perspective regarding cost of living, you can check out our video which is called Cost of Living in Germany in 2023, which you can check out here on the left. Until next time, cheers! What happened there?
I don't know.
Do you want water?
No. 3 senior software energies.
So we had from SAP.
Now in total there's 4 people that earn more than 100K or more.